Eggs are delicious and nutrient-dense food that is rich in protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Eggs are inexpensive and easily available, and many people consume eggs on a regular or even daily basis around the world. You may have heard at some point that heart disease, the world's leading cause of death, can be triggered by the cholesterol in eggs. Some people avoided eating eggs for years because of the concept, which was supported by medical and nutrition societies as well as health officials. Without a question, eggs have more cholesterol than a lot of other foods. However, they are also rich in other nutrients that combat disease and helpful bioactive chemicals. Although there is still much disagreement on the subject, recent research indicates that the connection between eating eggs and an increased risk of heart disease may not be as strong as previously believed. In this video, we have examined the connection between heart health, cholesterol, and eggs. This video also offers advice on how many eggs are safe to consume, as well as who should think about consuming less eggs. Are eggs a cause of elevated cholesterol? According to recent observational studies and meta-analyses, eating eggs may not raise your risk of heart disease or its risk factors, such as inflammation, artery stiffness, and elevated cholesterol. According to one small randomized controlled trial, consuming 2 eggs or a half cup, 118 milliliters, of liquid eggs for breakfast had virtually no impact on blood cholesterol levels when compared to an egg-free, high-carb breakfast. Similarly, randomized controlled trials conducted in diabetics found that eating 6 to 12 eggs a week did not have a deleterious impact on total blood cholesterol levels or heart disease risk factors. Instead, it raised HDL cholesterol, or high-density lipoprotein. Good cholesterol is referred to as HDL cholesterol. Higher HDL levels are beneficial because it eliminates other forms of cholesterol from the blood. On the other hand, because it increases your risk of heart disease, low-density lipoprotein, LDL, cholesterol is frequently referred to as the nasty kind of cholesterol. According to studies comparing egg-based breakfasts and egg-free breakfasts, egg breakfast groups did see an increase in cholesterol. However, the LDL to HDL ratio, a biomarker frequently used to evaluate the risk of heart disease, did not alter. But other research has found connections between cholesterol levels, egg consumption, and an increased risk of death and chronic illness. For instance, individuals who consume large amounts of eggs over a long period of time typically have greater cholesterol levels than those who consume less eggs, according to a recent meta-analysis of 17 randomized controlled trials. However, some research also suggests that the adverse effects of eating eggs can be more pronounced if they are consumed with other food that are rich in cholesterol. This might include processed meats, fried dishes, yogurt, and cheese in addition to eggs. Overall, there are still disagreements on the precise way that eggs affect cholesterol and their total contribution to the risk of heart disease and death. Many experts believe that in order to adequately answer these questions, further human studies are required. How many eggs a day is safe to consume? It's becoming more and more obvious that the risk of consuming too many eggs depends from person to person as we continue to understand more about how eggs interact with cholesterol and chronic diseases. The number of eggs you can safely eat each day may vary depending on your genetics, family history, egg preparation methods, general diet, and even where you reside. Additionally, take into account how much total cholesterol you consume from items other than eggs. You might have more space for eggs in your diet if it contains comparatively little cholesterol. It could be wiser to reduce your egg consumption, though, if your diet contains more cholesterol. According to some research, eating 1 or 2 eggs a day can be safe for a healthy adult with normal cholesterol levels and no substantial underlying heart disease risk factors. It might even be beneficial to your heart health. According to a small study involving 38 healthy adults, eating up to 3 eggs daily increased HDL and LDL levels, as well as the LDL to HDL ratio. However, experts may hesitate to recommend eating more than 2 eggs each day, with many still advising sticking to just 1. According to a study done on Korean people, eating 2 to 7 eggs a week also helped maintain high HDL cholesterol levels and lower the risk of metabolic syndrome. However, the preventive advantages of eating 2 or more eggs each day were not as strong. High blood pressure, blood sugar, and blood fat levels, along with weight gain around the waist, are all part of the metabolic syndrome. When combined, They raise the chance of developing long-term conditions including diabetes and heart disease. Different groups may be at different risks. For the majority of healthy adults, eating a few eggs daily seems to be safe, but it's vital to remember that some research still indicates otherwise, especially for specific groups. In a research involving almost 200,000 American veterans, eating just one egg daily was linked to a marginally higher risk of heart attacks. The effect was most pronounced in individuals who were overweight or had diabetes, indicating that general health status affects the number of eggs that are safe to consume. Similarly, eating 2 to 4 eggs a week may significantly increase dietary cholesterol consumption and raise the risk of heart disease among adults from Korea and Europe, particularly in those with diabetes. Another study that examined a sample of over 100,000 persons in the United States discovered that older adults who consumed more than 5 to 6 eggs weekly were at a 30% higher risk of developing heart disease. But there's no assurance that eggs are the only cause of the elevated risk. No matter how many eggs you eat, as you age, your risk of heart disease rises because of things like artery hardening and fat accumulation. Therefore, while determining how many eggs are acceptable to eat, it's crucial to take your entire health and picture into account. It could be preferable to limit your intake to 1 egg per day or 4 to 5 eggs per week if you have high LDL cholesterol, are overweight or obese, have a chronic illness like diabetes, or have a family history of heart disease. Evaluating so many risk factors independently can be challenging. Therefore, determining how many eggs are safe to eat each day or week may be best done in direct consultation with a doctor, dietitian, or other qualified healthcare practitioner. Is eating just egg whites preferable? One big egg has about 200 milligrams of cholesterol on average. The yolk contains the majority of the cholesterol. In order to lower their cholesterol intake while still obtaining a healthy supply of lean protein, some people choose to eat just egg whites. But just because the yolk contains cholesterol doesn't mean you should throw it out entirely. Iron, vitamin D, carotenoids, and other nutrients are all abundant in the yolk of the egg. Many of the health-promoting benefits of eggs, such as decreased inflammation, elevated HDL cholesterol, and enhanced metabolic function, are believed to be caused by these bioactive elements. For example, compared to those who consumed a yolk-free egg alternative, 37 persons with metabolic syndrome who followed a low-carb diet that included 3 whole eggs daily for 12 weeks showed improvements in markers of inflammation and cholesterol balance. There is currently little proof that eating only egg whites can benefit healthy people. Actually, you may be losing out on a lot of the health advantages that eggs provide if you forego the yolk. However, if you already have high cholesterol or are at high risk for heart disease, eating more egg whites and limiting your intake of egg yolks throughout the week may help stop your cholesterol from rising further. A staple in many people's diets, eggs are a good source of protein. Despite having a high cholesterol content, they also contain a lot of health benefits. As long as they are incorporated into a balanced, nutrient-dense diet, eating 1 or 2 eggs per day is acceptable for healthy individuals. The best approach to find out how many eggs are healthy for you is to consult a qualified expert, such as a doctor or a nutritionist, if you're especially concerned about your cholesterol levels or the risk of heart disease. Like, share, and subscribe for more health-related videos like this. Thank you for watching.